So I'm planning on just talking through a couple of the elements of the campaign that for us have been innovating or surprising. And one of these is using display for awareness and perceptions. So the approach we've taken with this is a combination of trying to really break through with the creative itself, but also break through with media firsts. So this is just a quick example of on MSN, trying to break through with a creative unit that takes advantage of that unique interplay between MSN and Bing, and educate the MSN users, which is a huge part of our audience, about Bing and how they can use it. And if we can't stop people from going from MSN to Google, then we're really in trouble. So, so we've tried to do this. This is just illustrative as far as the way we approach creative. But what's a very unique message for this audience, and what creatively is a way we can really break through that banner blindness and reach that audience. And we've had a lot of success in that space through media. So we've aggressively pursued media first in the majority of our high impact buys. So going to a publisher and saying either, what are you launching in the next quarter? We want to be your partner for that product. Or better yet, let's come up with something custom between us. We did this at launch with the New York Times. We did this again over the holidays with BBC with the pushdown unit, and then we actually have a bunch that are launching in the next couple weeks. So what we've seen by taking this approach is we see that the high impact display campaigns are driving over 20% recall and reach within our target audience, and consistently 10 to 20% lift in perceptions and intent to try relative to other elements of the campaign, which are great. And then we've seen, from 60% lift all the way up to 200 through these never been done before placements. We've also used video as a great storytelling platform for the Bing brand. So we've tried to extend the reach and the impact of the TV campaign, but do this in a way where it's not just straight distribution. We've tried to take that to another level, and we've done that in two ways. So one is using some emerging ad units to take that TV ad, distribute it through a pre-roll or an in-banner video, and then use a custom overlay to continue that story and use a product demo to build on that, and also some of the ad selector products so that the consumer actually plays a role in picking which video ad that they're presented with, so that they're a little more emotionally bought in and it resonates with them. And then we're just actually launching next week our first custom online video campaign, which we're excited about, to really take advantage of the growth in the online video consumption, but also think about unique content that gives us that platform to communicate our differentiation and connect emotionally beyond what you can do in a banner ad or even in a high impact unit where you have at the most 7 seconds to work with there. So this is a big investment area for us going forward. We've also tried to use non-traditional digital media to break through and reach consumers in unexpected places. So you can see that we're leveraging a lot of our Microsoft assets here, but one example we've had a lot of success with are these Xbox in-game ads. And so our creative team had a lot of fun. They literally played every single Xbox game and came up with creative that matched each game title. And so, these are obviously non-clickable ads, just kind of in situation as you play games. So we had a lot of fun doing this. We implemented a really holistic measurement plan because we're like, how on earth are we going to know if this works? So we did a combination of surveys to understand recall, but we also looked at pre and post behavior by using it was either Compete or ComScore. I'm not sure which one, to be honest with you, but looking at pre and post behavior of the users exposed, and we found 100% lift after this campaign. So shocking, but it's fun, innovative, and actually effective, which is great. We've also more recently been having fun with this in the mobile space and in the e-reader space. So I know we have a colleague here from Condé. We have an iPad Vanity Fair ad that will launch in the next issue, so we're excited about this. This is another example of really custom creative. Our creative team had a really good time just thinking through, all right, how do we match kind of the Bing brand with this audience and come up with something that feels really authentic to that audience. So that will launch soon. Same story in measurement, just implementing really holistic measurement to understand that on kind of numerous fronts, how that works. Also with the same partner, we've partnered in the application space for the iPad as well as the iPhone, I think Steve and Shane were mentioning, it is quite expensive to develop these little apps. So we've taken the approach of investing in the Bing core application, but in partnering with other app providers to really infuse Bing versus necessarily building our own discrete applications. And one example of this is the Condé Nast Traveler application's gold list. So this has their kind of top-ranked resorts and hotels. So we've sponsored this application to provide it for free to users. And basically, the value exchange there is that the user is presented with interstitials that prompt them to download our Bing iPhone app. And then we also have integrated content as a value add. As people are searching on destinations, they can use Bing. Kind of talk through all that. So this brings me into the next point here. So with the Bing brand, we're in a somewhat unique position to do this because Bing in and of itself is an information provider, but we've invested a lot in trying to think about advertising as value add or content and not just a standard banner ad. So you see here an example of an in-text ad where upon hover, the user can learn more about something that's very relevant to them at that point in time. This is actually a real Bing search result that they're presented with. And we've extended this further visually with the custom partnership with the Huffington Post, where we're bringing in a more visual unit that allows the consumer to then engage more on that topic. And then just one last example here. So we've partnered with a company called Jywire, which provides Wi-Fi hotspots so that we offer a free Wi-Fi session in exchange for the user trying Bing once. And then obviously with the hope that they engage further. What we've seen from all these partnerships are literally 10 to 20x the click-through rate of a standard banner ad, which is great. But even better, we're seeing that the long-term engagement from these programs is far exceeding the campaign averages as we look through the initial queries that these users are doing, but also their long-term engagement with the brand. So we're really breaking through and resonating. And then I just have two last examples. I personally think this is one of the more interesting kind of pieces of marketing that we're doing, so I wanted to show a few examples. In the social space, we partnered with Farmville to tap into that immensely popular game. And so what we offered was free farm cash in exchange for users becoming fans of Bing. And the results were phenomenal. So we acquired 400,000 fans in 2 days. And we saw a very high level of pass along for this promotion. And we've actually seen that these same users, we're able to track them on their product usage, and they are so far performing at above average as far as their engagement. So we're monitoring this to see what that sort of drop-off looks like, but it was incredibly successful way to tap into an existing community in a value exchange. And lastly, just one more iPhone app. This is called the Top 100 by Year. It's actually a really cool little app. So it's basically like a jukebox. It has the top 100 songs of every year. It plays them in random order. And we've sponsored this app. So we thought it was a great app, and it was kind of somewhat popular. It used to be offered for $1.99. So we partner with a company, are offering it for free, again, in exchange for the user being presented with these interstitials to download our app. And it went to, once we offered it for free, it went to the top free app in the iTunes store within 24 hours and brought Bing for the first time into the top 10, which, as any of you are doing any sort of app advertising, this is like a magic black box that's very hard to get into, but has a huge lift if you can get into the top 10. So these both have remained in the top sort of 10 to 15 for the last couple weeks since we launched this.